My friends, you might want to think twice before buying Solana right now because they just voted for inflation. They defeated a bill, didn't get enough to actually vote to pass because it needed 66% to pass, and they only had 43.6% in favor of it. And that would have a dynamically adjusted Solana inflation rate based on staking participation. And that would have actually cut inflation rate, which is really bad for Solana. If you're wondering why Solana hasn't reached super high levels yet, it's because there's a lot more Solana out there, like 70% more Solana out there than there was in the last bull run. So inflation is a real big issue for Solana, and they voted to not cut inflation. Now, the Solana validators that are doing the vote hailed it as a victory because they did a democratic vote, and this was the biggest on-chain democratic vote essentially ever. However, the issue is it didn't pass. And because it didn't pass, Solana will keep inflating at a pretty high rate in the foreseeable future, at least in the next couple of years. So that's another reason to not buy Solana. The final vote across 910 validators was 43.64, 27.4 against, and 3.3 abstaining. It needed 66.67 approval from participating votes. Now, like I said, there was actually a lot of participation in this vote, and obviously people didn't want it because it would impact their staking rewards. But since they didn't do this, inflation is going to be much higher. They're going to get diluted. So you're looking at short-term gains for long-term losses. So I don't really know if people voted twice or whatever, but the voter turnout was higher than every U.S. presidential election in the last 100 years. So essentially, yeah, they got essentially from everyone that was able to vote, we had like 74% participation rate, which is actually higher than pretty much every U.S. presidential election. They wanted to change Solana's inflation system from a fixed schedule to a dynamic market-based model. Instead of preset decrease in inflation, this new system would dynamically adjust based on staking participation. Currently, supply inflation begins at 8% annually, decreasing by 15 cents per year until it reaches 1.5%. And the new mechanism may have reduced it by as much as 80%. So Solana is going to have pretty high inflation for at least the next 3 or 4 years at this point. And I think this particular proposal did actually need to pass for Solana to look attractive to investors. So if you're thinking about buying Solana, keep that in mind. And I probably will not buy SOL, the actual coin, but I still might buy Solana ecosystem coins. But I probably wouldn't be holding SOL for too long until the inflation rate comes down. So essentially, at this point, not really too impressed with this vote. Yes, it's cool that it had a big Democratic vote, but not cool that they did not actually pass this particular resolution. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.